Hop in and join us. So we want to thank Candace from First Security for joining us today. We are delighted. We put the word out to all of the financial institutions in the area to offer them the opportunity to be on a panel this morning, because we've heard so much from particularly our retailers about the challenges they're having with banking in general, not a specific financial institution in the COVID environment, that there's a lack of customer service and a lack of clear understanding and expectations. And we thought, let's hear what the banks have had to do to adjust. And Candace, I'm gonna let you take the floor, and because we're a small group, we can raise our hand the way Ashlyn did electronically, or wave, and then we'll be able to just pop in and ask questions unless the rest of those people jump in, and then I'll say something about chat. So Candace, take it away.
Candace from First Security. A lot of you already know me. I've been in banking for like 22 years, I think, which is weird because that's half my life. But I just kind of wanted to touch on what First Security's seeing, what we're doing, and how, you know, we're just out there trying to help our community. We're, of course, being affected by the shortage of coin, which I didn't really understand at first, but it's funny, I was in Chicago and my brother said, we can't get coins at the bank. And I was like, what? We can get lots of coins at work. I'll send you some. I get back, and no sooner than I get back, we get an email from the Fed saying that there's a shortage of mainly quarters. They're limiting our ordering. But we're still, the bank, First Security hasn't seen a huge impact on the fact that we're still being able to give our customers the coin that they need. We have resources to get more. People are rolling their coin and bringing it in a lot more, so that's good. And then we are seeing a lot of business growth, actually. Like we've been seeing more active deposits. Our customers are actually coming in, or our lobby hours are open from 10 to 2, and then our drive-ups open 9 to 5. So we're here from 9 to 5, so anyone can come in at any time. We make appointments, or bang on the door, we'll let you in. We're not gonna turn you away. So it is a surprise when we lock the door at 2 and someone accidentally gets in because the door didn't latch. So it's always interesting when people come in. So, and then we're like, wait, how'd you get in here? Not that you don't want to be here, we don't want you here, but it's just like always like, oh, wait, someone's in here. We're wearing masks, of course, with our customers. We're asking, of course, that the customers wear a mask if they come in. Without one, we're offering. We have supplies, so we're asking that they, we have, you know, lots of customers that forget them in the car, and then, you know, they're so grateful that we have one available for them. So, but we're not mask shaming, we're not, you know, doing anything that makes the customer feel unwelcome. So that, I feel that's a benefit for us also. Just trying to remember all my little things. Oh, we have a lot of our back office working from home, and they are having the ability to keep doing that. And I think that's an amazing opportunity for a lot of people, especially with the schools and the availability to be just at home in general. So we're expanding that opportunity. So we have, you know, more job openings and more availability for people to stay home. And even like my job, technically I could do some of it from home. So that might be, you know, something that I look into, you know, kind of as a part-time with my son being home for school and needing to help there. So, and that's the other thing about First Security is they want to know how they can help us as parents, as grandparents, you know, they want to make sure that they're supporting all of us. So right now we're, you know, trying to do the best idea wins and who can come up with an idea to help those parents. So we're trying to do that. I'm trying to do that because I'm trying to figure out what's going to work for my family. So Zoom calls, of course, we're getting better attendance. We're being able to Zoom with our customers. We're doing a lot of remote signing, DocuSign, for new accounts and old, or, you know, changes or anything like that. We can do everything over the DocuSign. If we can't, we're willing to, you know, mail it and hang on and wait, you know, or meet up at the drive up. Like, we've done so much more out of the box and things that we could have been doing this entire time. So it's very helpful in that way. And that's what also is really great about having I'm going to call it a woman operated, because I don't want to say manned, drive up, because our tellers are there. We can exchange the paperwork back and forth. We have a drive up window. We can service our customers, you know, face to face. So they're not, you know, feeling like they don't know what to do. They can't just deal with a machine, and they're having that opportunity to talk to us and tell us their needs. And we do have 3 lanes at our drive up. So if we actually had to use all 3 lanes recently, but we just have the opportunity to serve our community and our customers to the full advantage. Unfortunately, we're not doing coffee and candy. Customers have been really vocal about that, but most of them understand, of course. And then we have sneeze guards at our teller windows. We had those right away. The bank made sure that we were very comfortable with our timing and when we were going to be opening, and they keep checking on us every week. Wendy's on multiple calls every day about how we feel. I mean, other branches have smaller lobbies, so they're keeping their doors shut and letting customers come in one at a time. We have our nice remodeled branch, so we have a huge lobby and people have plenty of space. So we have people coming in and spacing out, which I love to see because we don't have to monitor that. And then we have the sneeze guards up at the teller windows, and they're portable. So we can move them to the desk, we can move them to each other window. And then, of course, we have the offices and stuff to kind of close ourselves off from the public, I guess you could say, if we needed to be secluded for some reason. But I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, the big thing I wanted to go over was our PPP loans. Of course, everyone, huge thing. The amazing thing about working with First Security on this is we have such, as we call it, smart-driven, nice people. And we were up and running for that first wave of PPP loans, and we were able to help so many of our customers. And that, like, honestly, that made me feel amazing because I was helping those local customers that I could tell needed support. So as the Port Townsend branch alone, we did 30 loans, and our total for Jefferson County was $2,378,900 of funded PPP loans to our local Jefferson County businesses. As the bank as a whole, we did 469 loans, which was $74,112,575. those numbers are amazing to me for a small community bank. Like, I don't even, it's just amazing. And we had so much support with our process. We are up and getting our forgiveness portal ready. We got it approved by the SBA, so now we're training on it. We're trying to make it so easy for our customers to go in and use it and upload their information, and then we can help them upload information also. And we just went through a training briefly on it, and so it looks, I mean, it looks pretty easy to me, especially if you're using it for payroll and using it what you're supposed to be using it for. It's going to be very easy for a lot of our customers to get that forgiven. So I feel like that's going to be a great opportunity, again, to support our customers and the community that we helped. So I personally got lots of calls from other businesses that needed the PPP loan, or that heard that we helped them so fast. And unfortunately, we weren't able to help everybody because we were supporting our customers that banked with us. So we got those customers their loans first, and then we were, you know, looking at the opportunity to serve more, but of course the government shut that down. Second wave came, we were up and running. We had people on call waiting to put those applications in. It was amazing. The team effort was just great, and especially how seamless our process went. We were hearing lots of great feedback about that too. So I think that's all.
What else did you do? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at, you know, what you look like in February and what you look like today, can you even recognize your bank?
Well, I can, because we're still doing everything that we were doing before, with the benefit of growing our deposit growth, our loans. I mean, Terrence is so busy with our home loans. And that's the other thing, is that we're supporting him in as much as we can do for him. He's working from home, you know, and it's just been, you know, whole people walking in saying, oh, I need to talk to Terrence. Oh, well, he's not at the branch, you know, have a seat, we'll get you in contact. So that's a whole nother workaround of having that ability to be able to reach somebody. So I think that's another supportive aspect.
Before the shutdown, did you have any remote jobs for security at any of our local branches?
Not at the local branches. We did have a few that were working from home, like in the back office.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Mountlake Terrace, that side of the water. But now there is a large amount of people working from home. A lot of people are realizing, and that's even, we had a morning call this morning with our CEO and our CFO, and they reiterated again the strength of the bank, and how if people are not wanting to come back and this is all working for them for remote access, more power to us, and we will continue to do that. So like I said earlier, they're so supportive of the best idea wins and however they can support us. So as long as we are still open, operating, supporting our customers, that's what their focus is.
And it seems like, you know, that with some banks, there has been a major disruption in customer expectation to actual service. And some of that is truly understandable. They have people working from home and people working in the bank, and some of our local people are very tuned in to that personalized customer service. They don't want to use or can't use an ATM. They want to go to the bank. They want to talk to the same person all the time and bring their dog and their cat. And it's what they do. And that seems to have been at some banks disrupted. But it appears that you guys have worked through that challenge.
Yeah, we haven't had to shut down at all. We did, I mean, we were fully drive up for a while. But of course, that was kind of like everybody, but we were still here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and still answering our phones. Um, and the unfortunate part is the communication. Like, I don't feel like, luckily we haven't had to, communicate a lot of changes with our customers, but, again, having a drive up window with someone in it, we're constantly reminding them, hey, we close our doors at 2, but please feel free to call us for an appointment or knock on the front door. We can see you. We'll let you in. We can help you. I mean, we have safe boxes, so people are in and out, of those boxes all the time. And, having that accessibility, our branch is strong. We're not closing down branches. We're fully supporting. We're still hiring. We have a teller position open. So we're, constantly trying to find other avenues of, opportunities.
Which is really exciting. And part of what you guys do, and some of the banks in town do, is that you're really supportive of our nonprofits and the community events that happen. So why don't you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about how that works with First Security?
Well, and honestly, it's been kind of really hard, of course, for us to get out and support. Like, when I first moved over to First Security 2 years ago, we were at so many events. We were out supporting, doing the community things, the concerts on the dock, all that kind of stuff. And then now it's like a screeching halt. And so we're trying to support, of course, with, monetary or whatever we can do with, our efforts. And the lucky thing is that, Wendy is the same frame of mind as our CEO, and we have that aspect to support our community during this time. We did, I would say for at least 3 months, if not longer, First Security was buying each branch lunch every Friday, and we changed which local restaurant we supported. And so we constantly were going to all of our local restaurants. It may have even been twice a week. All of it runs together, but we were, out there supporting them. We all walk up and down Water Street trying to support our local businesses so we can, get in and shop, even if we can't, do as much as we can, to show our support to them, but we're doing what we can.
And it is difficult for all of our nonprofits to maintain that level of visibility and resource funding during this time, and they're all struggling with that. And so thank you for doing that. And full disclosure, First Security is one of our primary sponsors. They've stepped up early for the Jefferson County Community Leadership Awards, and we're very grateful for that sponsorship and for their leadership in doing that. And I think the question has come up, and there's a couple of questions. One was in chat, and the first question is, I know you're circling back to the PPP because there will be at some point, again, another round of that coming through. And potentially this time they'll include C6s in the mix. We've got our fingers crossed that stays in there. So far they bumped it out 3 times, but we're always hopeful. But there are still a number probably of your customers that didn't get PPP. And there are a lot of people in the community that didn't apply for one reason or another that will apply again. And so, do you think there's still a backlog of existing customer base that you're going to need to serve first, or are you potentially going to be open to serve a greater sector of community members?
Well, honestly, during even the second round when it opened up, and we shut our like our application accepting like at July 31st, so that we had that time to fund before the government closed it on August 8th. We didn't get a lot of applications during that time, and I did have a list of customers to reach out to, that I reached out to, and some chose not to apply and some did. And then of course they were grateful that I reminded them that it was open again. But I feel like I've gotten recent calls for those people that weren't supported necessarily and got their loan. They were told different things and weren't able to get their loans through their bank, so they were calling me and asking if it was still open, when they could apply. So I think there's definitely more opportunity out there locally, especially for some of the nonprofits, because the nonprofits at first were kind of on the back burner, like they were with sole proprietors, honestly. So corporations, LLCs, those were first to go. But the sole proprietors and the nonprofits were the ones that were kind of still on limbo, and we didn't know how to process them yet. Well, the SBA didn't know how to process them yet. So, I mean, we helped as many as we could, as fast as we could, and I think that kind of benefited us, but also, the majority of our customers. So I feel like there's an opportunity to, well, not only grow our customers, but to help potential non-customers if that becomes an option. So I think, of course, we are going to help our customers first, but that could grow our business because we want to help our customers.
Well, and that's always a good path to go down. I'm wondering if there's a particular sector of our economy here in Jefferson County that had a higher percentage of PPP asks than another. Is it retail or restaurants? Was it pretty evenly split around?
I would say it's pretty evenly split. Like we had a variety of applications for different businesses. So it wasn't just, mainly restaurants. It wasn't mainly, retail stores. It was a variety. So I think, and especially with us being able to kind of put it out there, whether it be Facebook, our website, and just say like, PPP applications are being accepted. So I think that helped a lot.
And I know that what I've heard from businesses, and again, absolutely non-specific to your bank, is that when there's a problem in their account, that they're emailing or calling the bank and they don't really get a person on the phone right away. So they're waiting for a call back, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. That level of customer service that they need now, because they are more remote and more removed from everything, has become very difficult to achieve. How have you managed to not fall into that trap?
It's just been a great experience to be able to, our phones ring here, we answer them. We do have a call center that if our calls roll over to, but their people, they answer the phone. There's no answering machine or leaving a message. And they can always call back. And if for some reason we didn't answer at the branch, I'm always giving my personal direct line out so people know that they can call me directly. And the great thing is that we kind of are all aware of how much we need to help the customer, on the phone as much as we need to help the people that are in front of us. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity to be able to talk to people on the phone, because that's where most of my business has been coming from lately, is I'm answering that phone and, oh, I, need to add someone to my account, or I need to open a new account. Let's make an appointment. Those are all phone calls. They're not people walking in as much as they were before all this. And they want to know what our procedures are, like, do I come in with a mask? Are you open? Like, that's the biggest question. Are you open? It's like, yes, we are here.
It's the biggest question we get at the chamber is, what's open? Is there a bank I can go to? Is there a restaurant that's open? And that's the biggest question is, what's going on? So I think
Yeah.
Richard Tucker posted something in the chat, which is really true, and an interesting statement is that First Security was way ahead of the other banks in being able to take PPP applications. And so, one, how did you get into that position? And how did you know? What did you do to get there?
Well, honestly, it goes totally back to our support team of our lending, because they jumped right on that and they had the information we needed. They had like a little work party, and they were getting those applications together. They were just knowing exactly what we needed from the customer in order to get those approved very quickly from the SBA. And just, the support, honestly, because I could take an application all day, but if I don't have that support to be able to send it off to, my SBA officer and them be able to get it into the portal for SBA to get access to those funds right away, we were just, we had all man, woman, man, everybody on deck. Like, everybody was gung-ho and ready to support everybody. The huge thing I would say is that we didn't complicate it. We had direct paperwork that we needed, whether it be taxes or W-3s or, just pay stubs, for sole proprietors or, stuff like that. We knew what we needed. They supported us and told us exactly what we needed. So our packets were ready to go. And then it was just that success of working as a team and getting those funds right away. And it was easy, I would say, for, from my aspect, not from theirs, because they worked so many hours and processed all those SBA loans that it was a very time-consuming thing. So I think the biggest success is that we kept it simple and we kept it to the needs of our customers. So I know that there was lots of people that, well, not lots, but several people that had come to us that had applied at other places, even PayPal or Square, QuickBooks, all of those places were accepting applications, but they came to us and we needed one piece of paper, potentially, maybe their tax return, and that was it. They weren't uploading, each individual W-2. They weren't uploading, 3 years of payroll. They weren't uploading, all this other documentation that we potentially already had, or that we didn't need to do the loans, to do the PPP loans that we needed or that we got.
Fascinating, because it's such a different story that we've heard from other people and other lenders. And I think, Jay, you may have missed the part of the call when Candace explained that. So I'm going to read it again, because they have a great new portal that I'd love her to explain about getting PPP loans forgiven.
We just did a short training on what our portal is going to look like through the SBA, and the customer can go on. We're going to send out an email, and then they click on the link, and then they go into the portal and they answer some pretty simple questions about how they spent their money, what their payroll's like, and then their time frame, which is all questions that they should know with their getting the loan. And then they can upload their payroll documents from QuickBooks. We can then receive it back and review it. And then we can also upload their bank statements, their payroll account information, you know, the stuff that we can see on the bank side, and make sure everything's in line before submitting it to the SBA. You know, I've heard personally, just reading all through the internet world, that they are looking at trying to get forgiveness waived for any PPP loan that's like under 150, I think. But I haven't heard of anything else that's come of that, which that would be amazing because it would wipe out a lot. But for now, we're preparing ourselves to be accepting all those forgiveness applications. That's the other thing, is we were supportive of helping customers set up like a separate account for their PPP loan, not necessarily that it was required, but just so that they could manage one account separately, so that they weren't trying to commingle those funds and trying to keep them separate later, because it would be way easier to go to one account and be like, oh yeah, you did payroll all through this account, we can see that, and then just be super simple. And easier was way better.
So are the rules for forgiveness totally etched in stone now?
Well, mainly, I believe so. Like it's 60-40. So 60 payroll, 40, you know, rent, mortgage insurance, utilities, those kind of things. I don't really think that there was any, they were still kind of working out the glitches, but that's the other thing, is that we weren't doing medical insurance and, you know, those kind of Social Security payments and, you know, all those details. We were strictly going off of your payroll numbers and getting to the nitty gritty of those numbers. So it's going to be easy for our customers to come back and say, no, that's how much we spent on payroll. So, and a lot of customers are just using it for payroll and not anything else because they wanted 100% forgiven.
Sure.
But if you look at the smaller potential businesses that needed that money, they could have an amazing loan after all this. I mean, 1% for 5 years, that's, yeah. I mean, some of these small businesses can't even get a loan, can't get a startup loan, can't get a loan to support them because of all of this right now. So this could potentially turn into a loan with a small monthly payment. And I mean, not that any bank wants to hold that on the books, but you know, they're not going to necessarily make money off of those, but it's a great opportunity for a lot of businesses too.
Well, and a lot of businesses are a little nervous right now about 2021 and how they're going to fund their businesses in 2021. That this year may have wiped out their ability to go to you and actually qualify for a loan. You guys have anything coming up that might be helpful?
I honestly don't know. I think that we're always looking for opportunities to help. We don't necessarily, we haven't seen a lot of that, you know, need yet. But I think as it comes up, First Security is always willing to help where we can. So we have so many avenues, even I can go through and ask, like, hey, this customer, you know, wants to know about a startup loan, or this customer wants to know about refinancing their commercial vehicle. Like, how can we help them to make sure we can get them what they need? And we're still having that opportunity to help with regular loans also on top of, you know, but we've also seen a lot of new home purchases that you know, have been just skyrocketing around here, businesses have actually been saying that they've been doing pretty good. So I was actually impressed going into some of the stores and saying that they were still busy, and not as busy, but busy. So, but yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of working with what we can. And downtown's busy. Like, we look out the windows and there's people on the streets every single day, and lots of people. So
It's nice to
I know
see.
that Jay asked about our cleaning, and we go out almost, I would say, a couple times a day. Some of us are overly, oh, did you just do that? I just did that too. So we go out and clean the ATM, make sure, you know, all the stuff is clean and not tampered with, and then cleaning the door handles. And we have a nightly janitor that comes in and also cleans. And then I have a desk, so I clean my chairs and my desk and my pins after every customer, especially the ones that are coughing under their masks or or that, just in general trying to remember. There's sometimes where someone sits down right before I can clean, and I'll be like, oh wait, can I wipe that down for you? Or here's a Clorox wipe, can you wipe it down? And we have, instead of candy, we have hand sanitizer wipes in our bowls. So so we're doing what we can. And I know our Hadlock branch was setting timers so that they would remember to clean every, I think it was 30 minutes in between customers, and making sure that we're just making the same precautions that everybody else is too. But the good thing is we don't have a lot of people touching a lot of stuff. So, our ATM's probably the dirtiest, and our doors. And that's what we, keep clean constantly.
So David has a question.
Yeah, did I understand what you said correctly, that it's a 60-40 split, so 60% payroll and 40% non-payroll?
That's what the new terms of the SBA came out with. It was 75-25, or 80-20.
Yeah. That's what we were told, that this is the first I'm hearing that it has changed.
So the 80-20 was the original release of the PPP. So it depends on what agreement you signed, but most, because they changed all of those rules, and those rules changed to 60-40. 60-40, right? Yeah. Yeah. And so 60% payroll, 40% mortgage interest, rent, and or utilities. And those are the new SBA requirements that are on the SBA.gov's website.
Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anybody else have questions for Candace while we still have her captive on Zoom? No more questions. So Candace, Richard has a question.
I just had a quick question. We learned a number of things that we can do differently during this pandemic that we probably will continue doing moving forward. Are there any major lessons learned that the bank has learned during this time?
I think mainly the remote, being able to do a lot more remotely. I think that's a huge, honestly, benefit for all of us. And just cleaning. You think about how much we didn't clean before. Like, I feel like that's kind of a lesson for all of us. But I don't know that there's been any huge things in banking that have, for us personally, just kind of being aware of more things. And it's different when people come in with masks in a bank. Who ever thought that would ever happen? I didn't. Personally, being robbed at one of our local branches here, I would have never thought that coming in with a mask was ever going to be okay. So, but the good thing is we know our community members, we know our customers, and a lot of the time we know them even with a mask. So if we don't, we ask them, you know, hey, can you pull your mask down real quick and let me see your face, and then we're good. And we do have the non-customers that come in too, but it's a matter of making those smart questions. Hey, can I see your ID real quick? Oh yeah, okay, your eyes do look like that. But I think it's just, I mean, honestly, it's a lesson for all of us to be aware of what's going on in the world, so, and make those changes as needed.
So internally, you know, all of us when we work in organizations we were traveling to meetings and spending a lot of time going city to city, and now those meetings are on Zoom. And so that's for most of us a huge relief from a lot of that travel and something that is going to stay with us. What do you think about internally at your bank?
I think honestly we are going to do the same thing, because when I started, I traveled to Mountlake Terrace and stayed over there for 3 days to go to training, and then was commuting back for the rest of the days. But now we're doing our training virtually. We're doing more in-house. So like I'm partnering up with our newest personal banker and teaching her things. And we're just like utilizing our resources that we have that we could have done this whole time. But all of it's learning, and definitely I feel that it's much better on Zoom when I don't have to stand up in front of a group of people, that I can sit behind a computer.
There you
So
go.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of things.
Well, and I'm glad
If
we
you
made it easy for
raise
you
your hand.
today to meet with this whole bunch of people, and you didn't have to stand up in front of us. So that's great. And
Right.
none of us
Or
were
do
looking at your
yeah.
shoes. So it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Hey, I have
Yeah.
cute shoes on today.
Darn, we would have all gotten a chance to see them. Candace, thank you very much for you.
I think Deborah was raising her hand too.
Deborah, I'm so sorry, I did not see that.
That's okay. I just had a question going back to the PPP, and I don't know if you probably didn't get involved with the EIDL, but do you have a sense of how many people applied that were not successful in getting assistance? Do you have a percentage or a
For
number?
the EIDL or for the PPP?
For the PPP primarily.
I don't. I mean, because every person that applied with, well, almost every person that applied with First Security got funding.
Oh, good.
There
Okay.
was a few that were rare cases that we couldn't support because we knew that they might not get forgiveness. So we couldn't help them, but we were, you know, trying another avenue. But I know that several of our businesses actually did end up getting the EIDL loan, and they were all surprised because, you know, they didn't even know when it was going to be here or that it was here. So
Yeah, that happened to a business I'm familiar with. It just kind of showed up.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Those were always a nice surprise in somebody's email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right,
I
thank
want to
you.
thank you guys for being a great resource for the community, and we appreciate everything that you do for all of us in the community, and we thank you for joining us today. Appreciate that. And
For reaching out to me.
and everybody is like
Yeah.
applauding, and so we thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Starting with our next Chamber Cafe, which is September 4th, we have our city and county governmental officials who have committed to be at all of our Chamber Cafes so they can hear your concerns personally and also answer the questions and concerns you have personally. So we're very excited about that commitment, and we are just delighted that you're with us today and hope you'll continue coming back and continue the community conversation. So thank you, Candace. This was tremendous. We've learned so much. You're getting rave
You are.
reviews in the chat. So
Yeah.
we are thrilled, and I'm sure that when we send this out to all those people who missed it, they will be trying to get you to come back, and we hope you will. So thank you all. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you all soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.